Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Asgard Discussions. Last week we covered episode 3 of Loki, and it ended off with a huge Nexus event. So today we talk about that Nexus event in detail.
Well, what a great episode, right?
It was
Incredible.
fucking insane. Just like a
We
full-on roller
just got
coaster.
done watching it, so everyone here is baffled, surprised, and happy at the same time. So,
Yes,
yeah.
fresh minds, like right off the bat.
But I'll just like to confirm to everyone here, Loki isn't dead, so don't cry yet. Because if you remember the teasers, there is a President Loki that we still haven't seen, and they've been teasing the shit out of that for like so long. So
There was some end credit scene that Erin said that she saw
Oh yeah.
with a bunch
So
of
apparently
Loki
there were like
variants.
there were like 4 different Lokis. There was like an alligator or crocodile Loki, and then a kid Loki, an old man Loki, and then a black guy Loki. I was like, and I
yeah,
saw some things going around how the black guy Loki was holding a hammer, which looks like a form of Mjolnir, and apparently that could have been a result of Loki taking over Asgard and actually becoming a king of Asgard and succeeding in Thor's death.
well, there was a study
Oh,
in Thor 2, I believe, The Dark World, where Loki was
Loki wielded.
projecting. Yeah, no, he didn't wield, but he was projecting an illusion where he wielded the hammer and pretended to be king,
Mm-hmm.
whilst his mom watches that. But it was a deleted scene; it wasn't even in the movie. I don't think it has any correlation. But that working theory is nice.
So one of the main things that I want to start off with is in this episode, very good episode, loved it, 10 out of 10. I don't complain about the cliffhanger. There is people in TVA or hunters beginning to realize, specifically B-15 and before B-15 C-20, and I feel like there is some type of connection going on with those two, especially with Sylvie being able to show them certain memories, or not so certain memories, but just memories of their past life before they were quote unquote kidnapped from their sacred timeline. So I feel like there is a little bit of controversy or, escalation within the TVA that some people are starting to believe what the two Loki variants are saying about how the TVA is lying to them. And Renslayer or Ravana knows this, and she's trying her hardest to prevent people from knowing this, basically.
Yeah, obviously
And
she has some direct correlation with the whole. But I don't think I think I don't know. I think that the whole timekeepers thing is fake, which now disproves all of our theories and sucks. But
because of the
yeah,
robots and stuff.
yeah, I mean it makes sense that obviously it's not run by some timekeepers creating time soldiers and workers that prevent the timeline from reaching a branch in reality. I mean, it just seems a bit absurd, as Loki said. But
I don't
I don't
know,
know.
because I, for one, still believe that timekeepers are a thing and that we have this going on. Because, yeah, like you said, there might not actually be somebody controlling the TVA or the sacred timeline, but it kind of reminds me of WandaVision, where there's more than one person running the show. You know how we had the Scarlet Witch, using her magic on everybody, and I forgot the name of the other character.
Agatha, but
Agatha.
Agatha was manipulating Maximov. I think that was the whole joke about that show.
But you see how there
'Cause
was more than one person running the show during that time.
well, not really. I mean, Wanda
Oh.
controlled most of it. Yeah.
Okay, that disproves everything I
I
said. There
think
it is.
yeah. No, it's fine. But you know what? As we were speaking about this, I just thought of something. Like maybe it is still Kang. Like maybe it's still Kang manipulating everything.
It very
Maybe
well
he was
could
putting
be.
up that whole facade of being 3 timekeepers, but he's really the one controlling everything and pretending that there's. Because I didn't see Kang in the time. Did you guys see him? Because Kang has a
No.
really like distinct look,
I know.
and he has this gem on his forehead. Yeah, we saw a guy with a gem on his forehead, but he just looked like a fake looking Kang. He didn't look like the one that was portrayed outside as a statue. I don't know.
much
Like,
skinnier version of Kang.
it doesn't matter about. I mean, they were fucking large.
Mm,
Still, we're all robots.
Yeah, that's true. But it
So it
brings
could
me.
be Kang.
Very well, I still do believe that it's Kang, and that's why it brings me to the first theory. And part of this was proved already in this episode, but because of this episode, I was able to branch that theory and sort of create my own Nexus event. Okay, that was cringe. I'll stop. I'm sorry. But so in the show, we
Okay.
stated that everyone who works for this TVA is a variant. So what if the guy in
mhm.
episode 1 who worked at that front desk who stated what's fish, or when Mobius was explaining out his dreams to Loki about living the life, riding a jet ski, what if it was all some sort of lost memories or distant memories that can be reawakened through Sylvie's enchantment, which we found out is true.
Yeah.
That brings me that in episode 1 of the podcast, the recording that we talked about last week, I hinted at the fact that Ravonna Renslayer could be Kang or one of the timekeepers or in very close ties with them. We see that she was very, very persistent to turn off that recording of C20 and very
Exactly.
to prune Mobius before he could spill the truth about his knowledge of the TVA. And we also
Yeah.
saw her
It's
very,
proof.
very hesitant. Yeah, we saw her very, very hesitant to explain to Mobius as to why she didn't want Mobius talking to Sylvie. I truly do believe that Ravonna knows something that nobody else in the TVA knows about anything, which could in turn make her Kang, a timekeeper, or someone who is in very close connection with them. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
'Cause
mean,
why is she trying to hide all this stuff about the C20 and like the timekeepers?
well,
Like
she obviously
just
knows about it, but
exactly. But if she didn't have like a really like tight, if she wasn't like a really tight circle with the timekeepers, then like she knows some stuff that a lot of people don't. She doesn't want people finding out about the timekeepers or
but I
that they're
don't
not
know.
real.
This whole theory about Renslayer, because they just showed us that there was a different judge at a different time, and she was also a soldier. So did she just find out and had to keep her word, or is she actually controlled by Kang? Or maybe she was brainwashed again.
There
No,
was
she
a
has to be
scene where
controlled.
What if she's being held
she has
against
to
her
be
will?
because she let Sylvie go in the beginning of the show. We saw that she had every chance to go and contain her again in that courtroom, and she failed to do so. And which you stated, Marvin, that was fucking pathetic.
Yeah, and she didn't prune Sylvie. Maybe
Mhm.
she's. I don't know. What if we're saying this? And she's not in, like Kang's not in control of her, and she's actually trying to help Sylvie. Then it disproves everything you just said.
Really hope it doesn't. I truly hope that it doesn't. I would love for these theories to be correct. Because in
If
last
that brings us, Erin, you said that you saw a theory made by Prince Loki about how there's like a whole dimension or whatever.
Yes. And I was talking about this with Solo yesterday, how we could see like a bunch of like Avenger variants or something like that
What, in that same dimension?
in that same dimension. Yes.
Well, if that's the case, um, then Loki is definitely not dead, right?
I don't believe he is.
Because
Like the theory was saying, there's like a quote unquote prune dimension to their
Yeah.
belief that there could be a prune dimension, and this is where all the other variants reside. And maybe, just maybe, these end
or
credits.
or or what if when they prune them, they don't actually die, but they get brainwashed into being a soldier for the TVA or worker?
You think so? It very well could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would make sense. Because like, how would the other variants survive? I mean, did they agree to work with them? I doubt that.
I mean,
Yeah, because they take them to a reset room, right? And the reset room is just pruning, basically.
how how much do we know about the idea of pruning as a whole? Because we still haven't seen President Loki.
Yeah.
What if he's President Loki because he's controlling all the other variants? Like he's rallied all the other variants, and just maybe by chance, he's writing up some elaborate grand scheme to overthrow the TVA on his side, or even from his perspective, from President
What?
Loki's perspective.
If that's the case, also, I mean, wouldn't they have to brainwash every single worker there if they just didn't reset anyone? And if that's the case, also, then Mobius isn't dead, and you can see the pain in Renslayer's face when he died because she obviously had the connection with him. Like, I don't know.
Maybe what you were saying was right about how when they get pruned, they in turn become brainwashed to work for the TVA. What if that bit of sadness was in a way of saying, man, I just lost a great friend. It's a shame he's just going to turn into another regular hunter.
Or maybe there's more than one TVA. I mean, we don't
I
know how
never
many
even
headquarters
fucking
there
thought
could
of
be.
that. You piece
What?
of shit. That
Oh
is a
my
good
god.
I've never even thought of that. That makes me wonder because.
It's like,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, because it would make sense because like they're not gonna fit all the variants in one place, and why would Kang or these timekeepers, quote unquote, just stop at like a certain amount? They could always use more in case some refuse to work or have to be resulted into a prune. But obviously, it's just a theory, theoretically.
Obviously, just a theory. There it is. I like it though. I really do like it because
It is. It's good.
It brings me, if there's more than one TVA, it brings me to another theory about the quote unquote timekeepers. Remember in the episode, Ravana said that the timekeepers want to personally oversee the prunings and they want you or Mobius to be there. The reason that the timekeepers want to personally oversee these prunings of the two Loki variants is because they now know that B-15 and Mobius are having subtle thoughts about the TVA possibly lying to them and kidnapping them from their timeline. And during this quote unquote pruning, it will just be a moment where the timekeepers or King, if he is in this fucking, sacred timeline, or if he is a timekeeper, it will be a moment where Kang or the timekeepers eliminate everyone who knows or even considers believing the truth about the TVA in order to remain in control. I
What
believe
if this theory,
Mobius was meant to be pruned.
What were you gonna say, Aaron?
what if this theory leads to like opens the door to like different realities with different sacred timelines with different timekeepers that oversee different timekeepers. And that's why they have several different TVAs to control for timekeepers to control different sacred timelines.
Shit. So like a TVA for every timeline, like the X-Men timeline,
Exactly.
the TVA for that. That makes a lot of sense, but I don't know.
It very well could be.
But
I
we
would
still-
love
would
to
it-
see
would it-
multiple TVAs.
Would it still be Kang though, or are we just in the general idea
I
of
feel like
timekeepers?
Kang would just be the overseer of everything. He's like the main guy who's overseeing the different.
Yeah, but what's with the fake ones though? That's what just bugs me about everything. 'Cause
Oh, the statues or the androids.
Not the no, the androids, yeah, because that
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like if you think about that for a second, it just disproves every single theory that you could have about Kang and anything. If they are fake, they're truly fake, then there ain't no Kang, there ain't no multiple TVA, there ain't no resets, there ain't no brainwash.
But what if the only person who knew that they were fake was Renslayer? They very well could still be out there. The timekeepers could very well still exist.
Yeah, but
There's
there's a
no
different
way-
judge.
Yeah, but I
Before.
mean, do you think that B-15 would have ended up as the judge next, or do you think it just goes down on the line of succession? Because
I
I'm
think
still
Mobius
confused.
would.
You think Mobius? Yeah, probably most likely. But like, it brings me to the point of who actually created this whole TVA nonsense. There's no way to know, and if these quote unquote timekeepers do exist, then they would have had to be the ones who control this TVA and these sacred timelines.
Listen, I've seen a spoil not a spoiler, but a like a leak or whatever on YouTube about the actor that plays Kang. I forgot his name or if he's ever played in anything else, but I know he's supposed to be a real actor, not an android like they showed us there with that voice. And I seen what he looks like in the comics, and I honestly do not see a single resemblance between what he looks like in the comics, what the actor looks like, to the android that just got his head torn off. I didn't see it. So
It's supposed to be Jonathan Majors. That's his name.
Jonathan Majors, okay.
Or are we now coming to a conclusion of some sort now that episode 4 is wrapped up? Are we coming to a sort of agreement within the MCU that Kang is actually not running the show?
What show?
You know,
What do you
the
mean show?
TVA. When I say running, yeah,
running. Not running the TVA.
he's not running the TVA. So
No,
that's
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we coming to a sort of conclusion that
No,
Kang?
what I meant there is that Kang could be the one manipulating the TVA because I don't see the resemblance between him and the comics and the actor that was playing him. Jonathan. Surprisingly, that's his name.
Surprisingly, no, especially since we have a Mjolnir in the show. Hopefully, I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. I've never been so confused, but I've never understood something so much ever in my life.
This is the beauty of Marvel.
Yep.
You get
They-
so fucking riled up.
And I can't fucking wait. I want to hear some of your guys' theories, honestly, because it's. I feel like it could prove or disprove the whole Kang theory.
It just
Kang
all
is it.
depends on this fucking Kang guy, dude. If he's fake,
It really
it disproves
does.
a bunch of theories. If he's real,
Oh
it
my
disproves a bunch of other
God.
theories.
Kang better be fucking real. That's all I have to
Fucking
fucking
Kang
say.
person.
Piece of shit.
Jonathan, fuck you.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Damn you, Jonathan. That's it. The show. In all honesty, though, one thing that I do want to complain about is I think we all know what it's gonna be. It's Loki and Sylvie.
I don't mind it. I honestly
You think
don't.
you think it's typical for Loki's narcissism to fall for himself?
Well, I don't know. What they,
Well,
if anyone that understands him is gonna be fucking Sylvie.
You think that's why he's finally found his love? I just find it weird. I see it more as like a big brother, little sister type thing.
They're the same age.
Are they now?
Dude, we literally saw why she okay, maybe not. No, because no, they're born at the same time. There's no way they're born at a different time.
They're just born in different timelines? Is that okay?
yeah.
This
Because
whole
she was-
timeline thing is weird.
Oh yeah. Well, it dates back to the theory I told you guys about that before this show started. Well, not the show, but the episode. I told you guys that I thought about why Sylvie was taken as a child, about the teasers that were shown as Sylvie as a child entering the TVA because she was not meant to be born as a female. And it
Ah,
wasn't
yes.
100% confirmed, but it was kind of confirmed because I don't
All
know.
she said was that she was never meant to
Be
be a thing,
like, yeah.
exist, yeah.
So it makes sense that because she's a like because all guys, I mean all Lokis are all guys, so it makes sense that they took her in because she was not meant to be born as a woman or a girl, which is fucked up. But
Very, yes, fucked up. Sexism, not okay.
cancel Marvel.
Cancel
but-
Marvel.
Since they said how like time goes differently in TVA, we don't really know how old she is.
Especially since she's been hiding off in Nexus events. And remember, she said that's how she grew up, was hiding in these apocalypses. I don't fucking know, man. I
don't know.
I used to think that Loki had a bad life. Oh, voice crack, I apologize. I used to think that he had a bad life on Asgard and on Midgard. But Jesus, now that I just look at Sylvie, the Loki variant, it's like, how bad
But
can you
the
really get?
the whole Sylvie timeline was all mushed up because Lokis don't get to know that they're adopted until they grow up and find out they were lied to.
but she knew they told her, so everything about her timeline was all a massive floof.
Oh, you're
That's about
right. I
that.
completely forgot about that. That she
Yeah.
knew that she was adopted early on.
Yeah.
Loki didn't find out that he was adopted until the first Thor movie.
And also, she had a way happier life. I mean, we don't even
She
get to
did.
see Thor. Yeah.
And not just Loki's weren't supposed to have a happy life.
Yeah, I mean, they're meant to lose, to make other people realize the best about themselves. That's what movies said, which is also fucked up. But
But
whatever.
hey, I mean,
It's Mobius. We forget Mobius. I mean, we forgive Mobius. I mean,
did we forgive him though? I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
want to fucking believe Loki until like the last fucking minute. He could have saved himself. Same with B-15. 15, I forgive B-15. 100%. She came in very clutch at the end, let me just say, when she tossed Sylvie and Loki those two fucking prune sticks and just dipped. I didn't think she was gonna dip, but she just dipped.
they knocked her ass out, bro. What you mean they did? She did.
Oh, they knocked her out. I thought she dipped.
I don't get. Dude? Why didn't Sylvie kill that fucking bitch, man? She just killed
Plot armor.
Renslayer when she knocked her out. All handy dandy. Loki's fine. Happily ever after. But no, she had to just knock her out in style and throw the fucking thing like a spear.
If she didn't kill her, then she has some sort of like special significance in this show, like more than we think.
Yeah.
Yes, very huge plot armor.
But it cost Loki's life? I don't think so. Hello?
I don't think, even if she would have pruned Ravonna, I don't think that they would have gotten away scotch-free happily ever after. Let's go bathe in the
Yeah.
sunshine like Thanos did in
Also,
retirement.
it's just a bit, I don't know, like, they should have known they were fake because, dude, the timekeepers are that weak they can't take care of themselves.
Yeah, why do
against
they
two
always
variants.
need protecting? Dude, it's so fucking... I just...
Kang,
I don't know why I didn't
Kang is
realize
a
it.
whole villain, bro. Like, Kang is a whole villain in the Doctor Strange movie. Obviously, he's gonna be powerful. He's not gonna be scared of two variants with spears.
But how powerful is he actually? I mean, we
Wait,
saw...
question to both of
Yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that timekeepers can be pruned, the real ones?
I don't think so. I think it would kind of be like eating
But
yourself.
how?
would just defeat the
created
purpose.
pruning. They created the pruning. How would they be pruned?
I feel like the pruning is like their magic of some sort. I feel like it's a... You know what we saw with the Time Stone from Doctor Strange in the first movie?
Don't talk about the time stones, bro. It's literally nothing in the
No,
TVA.
I know the Infinity Stones mean absolutely nothing. I know that. Marvel is trying to get past that, but it's kind of like a comparison. We saw how Doctor Strange was able to just keep creating time loops with Dormammu in Doctor Strange 1. What if this pruning mechanism, or I want to say magic, because there is magic in this show, you know, we've seen it with Loki. What if this is their sort of magic, and it would be pointless to use their magic on them? So just like how we saw with Sylvie, she can't enchant Loki. Because she just can't.
No, it's because it's not about her not being able to do it. It's because he has a stronger mind than other people. Because he's also a manipulator and knows, and he's very smart. So,
But my question is, if they created it, wouldn't they have found a way to like make themselves like resistant to it?
Exactly.
Like created a way to make themselves resistant to it since they created it?
You're absolutely right. Or they are time keepers.
But it dates back to that same thing, though. I mean, if they created weapons like this, right, and it has a certain effect, or like it completely disintegrates a person, but it doesn't seem to be painful.
It doesn't.
Just seems
So
like
maybe they are taken to a different dimension.
It kind of makes me believe, like, your theory is correct that whenever someone gets pruned, they end up either going to a different dimension, such as the pruned dimension, like Erin said, or they end up getting brainwashed, like you said. And it makes me think, is that how the TVA got in the first place? All the timekeepers, if they exist, just woke up one day and said, you know what? I'm going to create the TVA, and they just pruned a bunch of people into a different dimension or a different timeline, and they called that the sacred timeline, and just plopped it there, and they said anyone who disrupts the sacred timeline or does anything to go against it, prune them and bring them here. Because there has to be a way. I mean, there has to be some sort of significance with this pruning, and I think we see that now because Sylvie didn't prune Ravana. I don't know if that has any sort of significance.
Obviously, she knows more than the general
Yeah.
soldier, so she wants to find out. But I don't know. Sylvie must know something else because she didn't seem any way phased by Loki getting the stick.
She knows President Loki. What if that's why she wasn't so shocked? Because she knew that in the end there was going to be another Loki.
Nah,
What
I
if
doubt
she's
that.
been pruned herself but made it out?
That could also
No,
very well be a possibility.
We saw her escape though, and she said that she's been escaping her entire life.
What if she just says that? I don't know.
Why
There's a
would she
lot to
just
go
say
on. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's just me. But I do believe that she has met the other variants.
Also, I don't know. This was just kind of a cheap play from Marvel here, but if they were in an apocalypse and they would have both died, why the hell would they save them?
Okay, that is true. I mean,
It was just
like
a cheap
we're
play, I
saying,
think.
I think they just have something to keep going off of. I think that's what it is. It's suspension. I think that's all it is.
Well, my friend Simi, or I don't know if you guys know, you don't know him, but he told me that he saw a scene with Sylvie and Loki in a boat, and it looked like they were on that same Lamentus planet, but apparently not.
Oh, yes, the USS Eldridge. That is the
Oh,
prune
you
dimension.
mentioned this yesterday.
Yes, I did. That is the prune dimension. People do fucking believe that USS Eldridge is actually something that was pruned because if you see, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a little clip where it dropped down, and you know the same sort of animation that you get when you prune a variant, correct?
Mhm.
The same sort of animation surrounding the ship, and then it just disperses, and the ship plops into water, and that's where people come into play and say, "Well, the USS Eldridge is 100% in this quote-unquote pruned dimension that we just have not seen yet," and maybe that's where President Loki resides. As I don't know, the podcast, the viewers are obviously not going to see this, but if you look at my avatar, my GIF avatar here,
Yeah.
what does that look like they're inside of? Sort of like a building. But the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
we know aircraft carriers or ships
Oh my god!
have.
Wait. Go.
ahead. We know that aircraft carriers or cruise ships have an inside
God.
aspect to them. So what if they are like just holed up inside the USS Eldridge? What if this is where all the variants are?
Dude. Adding to that, the weapons that they were wielding in that fucking teaser are the same ones they were wielding on those variants that were showing up, like those 4 Lokis. They had the same colors, the same everything. So what if Loki was actually the president there, right? Or like was a sort of leader in that one of the dimensions, and then when the TVA showed up, they took control of their minds, and that's why they turned on Loki.
Oh my goodness! There's no
Because
fucking
the
way.
The way he said, "What did you expect?" with me, which means he's trying to show off that he's like a very strong-minded person that can easily take control of a
Yeah.
place, and then they instantly control all those fucking people's minds, and they turn on him. Holy shit!
That is a mind fuck right there. That is a good one, Marvin. That is a good one. Come up
Going
with that
off
on
of
your
what,
own.
going off of what you were saying, Marvin, in that last cutscene where we see like the 4 different Lokis, we see like a bunch of like buildings, like just like and rumble everywhere, and looks very futuristic. So, what if President Loki in that dimension, he is like the leader and everything, but what if that is like a future version of the TVA where all the variants end up taking over the TVA?
I see that. I love that theory. I love that theory. I do. Trust me, I do. Because I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about it this episode earlier. about how President Loki may be rallying up all the other Loki variants
Yeah.
to, in turn, just take over the TVA. I believe we are going to get the cocky, narcissistic, self-centered, egotistical asshole Loki back. I truly
Dude,
do
I'm
believe.
yeah.
so ready. If this is all
Yeah.
true, I'm so ready to see this fucking iconic squad of Lokis all just fucking making fun of each other. I'm so ready for that.
You think there's going to be like one super sensitive Loki? I hope so.
Oh
Really do hope
yes.
so. There's so much.
One
There's so
like
much to.
really smart Loki. Oh.
That is true. Like we know Loki's smart, but there can be smarter Lokis. I think there's so much to go off of with Loki as a whole because there's so many variants. There's so many different nexus or branch timelines that had a Loki. Like Mobius has said, they've pruned many Lokis.
Rest in peace.
Are we sure it's rest in peace? Rest in
Just
prune
whatever.
dimension.
When I saw that scene, I almost cried. Poor Mobius.
I feel like Mobius was gonna get pruned either way, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I was
Why?
saying, if the timekeepers wanted to personally oversee the prunings, Mobius was gonna get pruned along with B-15. There's no fucking way out of that. I truly believe that it was just a given, but they spiced it up a little. I mean,
Yeah,
it
but dude,
was
that whole room is fake. We
was
just
it
saw
fake
that.
though?
It is. They're androids.
Yeah, but
What if that is actually the room where the timekeepers actually reside, but they weren't hiding?
I just
Why would
know
I
we're gonna see a fucking idiot on TikTok. Well, what if they got the wrong android? What if the other two were the actual time? Get the fuck out of here. The same people who said, "Did y'all forget Loki had powers?" No,
Oh
I
my
didn't.
God. Okay, well that proves it. I mean, I wasn't advocating of it, but you were. I don't know if you were, but people were saying he had the time stone. That's why he controlled that with his mind. Like,
Oh
no.
yeah, they were like, "Y'all, did y'all
Oh my
forget
God.
that Loki had the time stone in his pocket?" No, the fuck he didn't. There was a whole video that I watched. You could hear him
Yeah.
drop it back in there. I don't know if some people talked over that, but
No, but plus it
even if
doesn't
he
matter if
did,
he did it.
there's no significance to it.
Yeah. I
He
mean, where would
doesn't
he hide it? He can't use his magic. I mean, they changed his clothes.
exactly. And for one, I don't think I do love Loki. I don't think he has the power to use the time stone. I mean, let's think about it. The only reason Doctor Strange was able to use it was
Yeah.
because it was in the little necklace thing. I don't think Loki has the power right now to use it.
Plus, it has a certain effect around the user. I mean, you can't just use it and it like if you saw like with Thanos, he used the gauntlet and it had like a whole like aura, like a green aura around his arm when he was twisting time. And plus, when you twist the time, it twists everything with it, not just one singular object.
In turn, I do, and
And
it
we
also
saw-
doesn't make sense how him having the time stone allows him to use
I mean,
telekinesis on a fucking train. Wouldn't that be more like power or
it
mind?
was a building.
Because it's telekinesis. You get me? If
Because
anything,
people were saying he reversed time, but even if you see the fucking clip again, it didn't look like the building was intact again. It looked like it was thrown to the other side.
yeah, I wish people would just quiet down and relax with these
Yeah, but it was
absurd theories.
obviously it was disapproved because obviously if they searched him, they would have found the goddamn time stone. They didn't find anything.
Unless he hid it in his heart. Did we?
Oh no, dude, trust me, Loki's gonna use the time stone. That's how he's gonna be alive.
No, the time stones
Oh
have
my
no
God.
significance. They're fucking paperweights.
Literally.
Nah, he's gonna use it, bro. Trust me.
I
He
do want
has
to
it.
point out the fact that what's the little machine, the little PSP DS thing that they use to
The
create these?
Tempad?
Yeah. Whatever happened to the one that Loki had in his heart?
It broke.
It
It
broke,
broke,
yeah.
right?
When he jumped out of the train, yeah.
But the thing is, they weren't they gonna fix it?
They didn't.
They
They
didn't
didn't.
because the TVA came in, right? So that brings me to B-15.
No.
I
Well,
No.
no, dude. Do you remember nothing? What the hell?
dude,
It broke. That's it. He threw it away, and they were gonna get on that massive aircraft and make
The
sure that
Ark.
it. Yeah. But then that got destroyed. and then they somehow cheaped it away and saved them from the apocalypse they were gonna die in. Okay.
Okay. That's
Oh yeah. Oh no, they took him away because it was creating a branch in reality. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Sorry, Marvel. I'm sorry.
Apologies.
That's what they. Okay, I feel stupid now. It wasn't cheap. It made sense.
It wasn't cheap. There it is. How dare you?
Yeah, because you remember it was creating a branch reality, like leading to the red line.
Red line.
Yes.
Red line.
Wait,
Red
so
line. Okay,
so
yes, I do know.
so Lady Loki bombing the timeline did fucking nothing. Is that what we're saying?
I guess not. I thought it created a bunch of branches. But
Or maybe that was just her plan, was to distract the whole of TVA so they can all fix the branches, and then she can go to the timekeepers and kill them.
what she didn't account for was obviously Loki tagging along. But we all know how that went. They fall in love, kissy kiss. Loki in love with Loki.
They didn't kiss.
I know they didn't kiss. I thought it was gonna
So why would you
happen.
say they kissed?
Cliche things, man. We
No,
all know
man.
Marvel's cliche at some points.
Take that back.
I will not. I stand by what I said. I will not take it back. No.
Cancel this man.
Cancel me. Yes, do that. One thing I do want to point out, and I didn't bring it up earlier, is the fact that remember when C20 was being interviewed, and she was saying, "I am a variant. I had a life. You know what the fuck is the TVA?" And Ravonna just instantly said, "You know that's enough." That face she gave, it wasn't like a it wasn't a sinister face. I'm gonna be confident here. It wasn't a sinister face, and it wasn't a face of anger. It was a face of concern.
Worry.
Oh shit.
Yeah, worry. Yeah, like, oh shit, like let's shut her up really quick. And we see that file ended up being classified, and we know that there is only a certain amount of files that anybody in the TV can read. Hence episode 1. Loki tried to read a bunch of files on creation of the TVA, who created the TVA, how long the TVA was in existence, but they're all quote unquote classified. Number one, I don't believe those files exist. Number two, if they didn't, obviously he can't fucking read them. But Mobius was able to read or view this file that was classified by the TVA. I believe Ravonna is the one. I think she's the only one who has the power to make a file classified or not. But she obviously classified this file for a specific reason. And also, I truly don't believe that C20 is dead. I don't think C20 is dead.
I don't think so either.
Well, the temp
What if
pad
she's
is taking
also
us
in
to
the
see-
prune dimension?
Exactly.
Probably. No, but they didn't say that they pruned her. They said she died, which is a very unusual word in the
Yeah, they just
TVA.
straight up said deceased. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very, very unusual. Jesus Christ, I apologize. But I don't know. I think there's a lot to go off of. I don't want to ramble.
You know what?
on,
Whatever.
so-
We can have our high hopes. Loki's alive. Mobius alive. Everyone's alive. No one's dead. There we go. Happy ending.
Kiss, kiss. Yes.
What's with you and kisses, man? Chill out.
Well, I mean, now that we know that, why not overdose it? Why not marinate this shit? With that being said, we truly do appreciate the support that we've gotten over the past week. We did not expect that much support
Yep.
in
Yeah.
the very first week.
Especially shout out Jenna.
Yes, a very huge shout out to Jenna. I don't know if you continue to watch this. We do appreciate you inviting your friends to our show. We do appreciate the viewers who stopped by our channel, and we do appreciate anybody who came by from TikTok. Remember, you can join our Discord server. I'm going to put the link in the description. It's also on the right-hand corner of our banner. Make sure to follow all our social medias at Asgard Weekly. That is Asgard Weekly on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And we truly do hope to see you again. Thank you for watching.
Yes, sir.